40-40. And this was talk about an edge of your seat game. I mean, this thing went to the final second of overtime where the Packers looked like they were going to cough up a chance to tie it with some bad clock management inside 10 seconds and tried one more pass to the end zone that fell incomplete. And they did get the field goal, kicked and done, and they tied the game at 40. But, Cowboys fans, again, this is like when I used to talk about the Longhorns and old Big 12 football. It's rough to come in here on a Monday and criticize the offense, but when Dak Prescott completed an incredible pass, 35-yard pass down to the 4-yard line in overtime to Jalen Tolbert, I still don't know how he made that throw. Dak Prescott is playing so well. I don't know how he made that throw. I mean, it set the Cowboys up at the 4-yard line with a chance to score, to start overtime, to win the game. The game's over if they score a touchdown. Kicking a field goal allowed the Packers, with the new overtime rules, to get a chance. And they couldn't score from 4 yards. And it's hard to come in and criticize the offense, but that series of plays, you have to wonder, were they aggressive enough to get the touchdown? Now, on that series, Micah Parsons had very little impact in this game last night. Like Cowboy fans will tell you, in big games, Micah Parsons would oftentimes not have a big impact, and that's part of why Jerry Jones felt like they could trade him. I still think it was not the right move. That's my opinion. But in the end, Micah Parsons had the sack of Dak Prescott when he was rolling to his left, and I think he would have scored a touchdown if Micah Parsons hadn't chased him down from behind and dove at his ankles and made the tackle, because there was a crease. And Dak Prescott is a pretty agile guy. There was a linebacker there, but I think momentum would have taken Dak Prescott into the end zone if Micah Parsons doesn't make that play. And in the end, for the Packers, it saved the tie. It saved the tie, because if Dak Prescott avoids that, or Micah Parsons doesn't have the speed to get to him, he goes into the end zone, I think, and the Cowboys are sitting here at 2-2. Instead, they're 1-2-1, and the Packers are 2-1-1 at this point. But again, the defense gave up 500 yards again last night. 500 yards. And you are not going to win a lot of football games when you have to outscore people in the National Football League.
And in the second quarter, this game felt like it was all but over. And then credit to the Cowboys, but also I think this has kind of been the case for Matt LaFleur teams, especially this year. I think if the Packers play their best game, they're beating anybody in the league. Yeah. I think if they are on the money and they're playing good football, they are hard to beat. But I don't trust them to play a clean game.
Well, I mean, I don't. But again, I watch
field goal block, the bad turnover at the end of the half to get the Cowboys to lead.
One of the reasons I devote my Sundays to watching every game. Everybody does that, though. I mean, the Eagles are the best team, and they went out 24-6 and ended up having to hold on. And Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers, who will never say die, got back to within an 8-point game, and they had the ball and a chance to go down and maybe tie the game.
And the Lions a week ago, same thing.
I mean, it's just the NFL. I mean, the games go in ebbs and flows, and It's what I think we're going to see in college football more moving forward. I think it's what we're going to see in the SEC this year. It's just survive and advance. It's not a beauty contest. It really, for the Aggies, I think the Aggies are a really good team and undefeated, but that wasn't a pretty win. I mean, they won 16-10, and they played against a team in Auburn who's the worst offense in all of college football, arguably, certainly the SEC.
Auburn had the ball with the chance to go win the game, and they didn't. Right. Credit to the A&M defense, but Auburn had the ball with a minute and 45 left.
But again, you don't come in and apologize, but if you're the Cowboys, it's hard to apologize for play calling from the 4-yard line in a game where you scored 40 points, but you needed a touchdown there. I mean, that's just the long and the short of it. And this is the problem, big picture for the Cowboys. The offense, when it's on, it's really good. I mean, it's the best offense in the league, even without CeeDee Lamb and 2 starting offensive linemen. But as we saw in Chicago, the offense can be hit or miss, and it comes and goes. The defense being bad is just what it is. You can't. That's why there is, I guess, some level of optimism in Houston, even though their offense. I mean, don't let a 26-0 score yesterday fool you. The Texans were up 6-0 into the fourth quarter with a really bad Tennessee team, and the Tennessee. Think about this, Jack. It was 6-0 into the fourth quarter, and the Tennessee kicker had missed 2 field goals. It very well should have been 6-6, and that's where Houston's offense is. And I think Tennessee's defense finally gave in. And maybe when I say there's maybe a bit of optimism, this rookie running back, Woody Marks from USC, who they took in the 4th round, really is starting to show. And we know Houston. I mean, I could make the argument as a Texans fan if they had a healthy Joe Mixon all year, they might be 2-2 at this point, not 1-3 or maybe even 3-1, because Joe Mixon is that big of a difference for them running the football, because he is so big and powerful. He can get a bad offensive line. He can make up for that. Nick Chubb just can't do that right now. He's not nearly what the Nick Chubb was 3 years ago. But this Woody Marks, I mean, there's people that are now comparing Woody Marks to what the Buccaneers found in Bucky Irving last year in the 4th round. That you see Woody Marks with the moves. They kind of drafted him to be a third down back, and it was going to be Joe Mixon as the feature workhorse, Nick Chubb as the next guy, and then Woody Marks was going to be that. But that's what happened in Tampa Bay last year. They drafted Bucky Irving out of Oregon, and it was supposed to be Rashad White's offense, and Bucky Irving just kept getting better and better and better. And in Houston, if the offensive line continues to show improvement, and this rookie running back can come, they're going to get healthier. And so, again, this is where if you're going to build your team around one thing, build it around a great defense. And this is why if you're a Longhorn fan, your offense is trying to find its identity, but you have a great defense. Mm-hmm. And you can live on that.
You'll be in there in the end of the game with
and
a
to
good
your
defense.
point of no one, I still think the Green Bay Packers have a really good defense. They just ran into a buzzsaw. Everybody knew for Jerry Jones what the importance of that game was on a Sunday night.
Yeah, just about the best game of George Pickens' career.
Yeah, Dak Pickens got red hot. And when Dak gets hot, man, look out. He's as good as any in the league.
Now throw late.
But I think I go back to Philadelphia and say, well, Philadelphia won again.
Yeah.
They've won like 18 or 19 games in a row when that quarterback starts and finishes the game.
Yeah, it feels like a streak might be coming to a close this year.
Well, but their defense.
Yeah.
Their defense is elite. And I know even though Baker Mayfield, they hit 2 70-plus yard bombs in that game.
2 busted coverages.
Well, the throw to Emeka Egbuka was, you talk about a lucky throw, and it just got through 2 hands. Andrew Makuba, the rookie safety from Texas, kind of undercut that. And then they hit Bucky Irving on a wheel route in kind of a broken play situation. He got down the sidelines. Other than that, the Eagles' defense put a blanket on that really good Tampa Bay offense. It was playing without Mike Evans. But, if you're looking to build on one thing, build on a defense. Mm-hmm. That's why Ohio State might be the best team at the end of the day, right? Their defense is going to allow Julian Sayin and their offense to come along there. And that's where, Georgia, and I'm just kind of bouncing around from the games I watched this weekend, Georgia, their defense isn't close to what it was.
Gettable. I mean, Tennessee had 40-plus on them.
Yeah, and Ty Simpson and company came out and ripped them up and then held on for the win. That secondary, that pass rush is not what it's been, and that's what Kirby Smart's always been able to hang his hat on. And right now, his defense is just okay. And, you could argue right now that Texas has the best defense in the SEC. If that's the case, if the offense can get healthy, get their running backs and get their run game going around Arch Manning, they can be a real factor, maybe even the favorite in the SEC, but that's yet to be shown. That's yet to be proven. We haven't seen them play a really good team since Ohio State, so we'll all tune in and watch the Florida. Is Florida a really good team? I don't know. I don't think so.
Good defense.
Yeah, so either way, I mean, the NFL is Cowboys need to win that ball game. They need to score from the 4-yard line. I still don't know how Dak Prescott completed that pass. That was unbelievable, falling away and still putting the ball 40 yards down the field. And somehow Jalen Tolbert kept his feet in. But you're thinking, okay, they're going to win now. They're at the 4-yard line. And they didn't. And Micah Parsons made this game-saving tackle, I guess, in that spot. But it was a crazy day. Buffalo and Philadelphia, your 2 undefeated teams, they're 4-0. Buffalo was not pretty yesterday. Even their head coach said we got outplayed. They played harder than us. But Josh Allen is just Josh Allen when they need him the most. But there's Buffalo, Jack. I mean, their defense ain't great. They're gettable.
No.
And that's why I'm saying if you're Houston, if you just had a decent offense. I mean, the AFC.
There's nobody's good.
Well, nobody's great. I mean, certainly nobody's great. But Josh
Allen's going to win the AFC North?
Josh Allen's great. But is Buffalo, I mean, they're scoreable. But Houston's offense, I mean, you can't even go there until they. That game was 6-0. Houston was still wretched for 3 quarters against a very bad Tennessee team. So
they scored on the first play of the 4th quarter, but still, I mean, it
Philadelphia is still the favorite. I still think the LA Rams are really good because the Rams would tell you they let that game get away in Philadelphia the week before. Blocked field goal loses them the game. 2 block kicks in the 4th quarter, and they lost to Philly. But the Rams are every bit as good, I think, as Philadelphia in all phases, and they beat the Colts yesterday, who had been an unbeaten team. We thought the Chargers, we're looking like Jim Harbaugh doing his thing, but they went into New York yesterday, lost to a rookie quarterback in Jackson Dart, and their offensive line is starting to get exposed. Remember Rashawn Slater, their Pro Bowl left tackle, got hurt in camp. They had to shuffle some things, and they've managed for the first couple of games, but that Giants pass rush got after Justin Herbert yesterday in a big way, and games on the road in the NFL are difficult. Any win's a win, but any road win is tough to get. Doesn't mean the Chargers aren't going to be a good team and the favorites in the AFC West, but that was signs of what could be coming for them if they can't protect their quarterback better.
And Joe Alt went down, so now they're down 2 tackles.
I know.
And who in the NFL is good without your 2 starting tackles?
Right, it's impossible. It's impossible. Ask Houston. You're down,
They don't have starting tackles.
Right. Ask C.J. Stroud, who's under constant pressure. So, yeah, the NFL is completely unpredictable game to game. And what I can tell you is Dak Prescott is playing at the highest level of any quarterback in this league right now. And 40 points he delivered against a very good Packers team still wasn't enough, and that's a problem. That's a problem.
Man.
You just, on a week-by-week basis, teams are lining up to pad their stats against the Cowboys, whether it's Caleb Williams or Russell Wilson, who then gets benched, or Jordan Love, who they scored all of 10 points last week in Cleveland, and Jordan Love was bad. Last night, field day. And that's problematic. And I don't know I think in Houston, it can get better offensively. It can continue to improve.
Sure.
I don't know how you fix Dallas because I think it's a personnel thing. It's just they don't have good players.
They don't have the horses. Players just aren't good enough in the secondary.
And you don't just snap your fingers and produce players.
Slow at linebacker for the most part.
Yeah, real slow. And just no pass rush. And obviously that's trading Micah Parsons, but I don't know. Again, I said this the day they traded Micah Parsons. They weren't going to win the Super Bowl with Micah Parsons. They're certainly not without him. But they're fun to watch. They're fun to watch because Dak and Brian Schottenheimer have put together a fun offense. Javonte Williams in the run game is better than we thought it would be. And but man, it's going to be a shootout week to week. That's not a surprise at this point. And Houston is going to hold your eyes as you watch them play week to week up front and with their offense. But maybe this Woody Marks character is coming on because you saw that game. Finally, DeMeco Ryans and their offensive coordinator Nick Caley just kept 27 in the game, kept feeding them. Like, okay, don't stop putting Nick Chubb back in the game. Just leave this kid in there. And the offense got better and better. I do think Tennessee's defense wore down and quit. I'll ask this, too, from the big games, and I'm assuming the Chiefs-Ravens game did a monster rating in the midday, the mid-afternoon window. Was Lamar Jackson hurt in that game, or did he just pull himself out of that game?
It felt like a waving of the white flag, but I was also watching that game with a Ravens friend of mine, and we were both saying Lamar doesn't look as fast.
Yeah, maybe he was being precautionary, and I don't want to cast aspersions on a great player, but that guy's now 4-10 lifetime head-to-head against Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen.
It's easy to pull that card.
But what I have to say about Lamar Jackson is it's kind of like Dak Prescott. He's got to be great every week because the defense is so bad.
I know they're down 6 starters in Baltimore land, but they are atrocious.
If the Cowboys' defense is bad, the Ravens is worse because the Chiefs weren't moving the ball on anybody. And just getting Xavier Worthy back, that helps a lot.
Their receivers are cast-offs from the Patriots.
I know, but that's because Houston plays Lamar Jackson and the Ravens this week. They go to Baltimore, where they're both 1-3. Houston should be able to score some points in that game because everybody is scoring points on the Ravens. Everybody. They're kind of like the Cowboys. People are lining up to pad their stats against that defense. But Houston's offense is so bad, I don't know. But Lamar Jackson, will he play in the game? I'm assuming he will. They said it was a hamstring, and you're right. If he wasn't as explosive as he needs to be, they stopped giving the ball to Derrick Henry in that game. But again, I just think that whole team, their mindset is kind of like the Cowboys. It's tough. And if the only reason the Cowboys are 1-2-1 is that Dak Prescott's playing out of his mind.
Balling out.
And Lamar Jackson has had some couple bad games, and they had a bad fourth quarter against Buffalo. So tough to win with a bad defense, obviously. Baltimore and the Cowboys finding that out.
Maybe you're like, we're down multiple scores on the road to Kansas City. What's the point in putting more tread on the tires?
If it is a little bit tweaked, I don't have a problem with him coming out to be kept. It's a long season, and they weren't going to win that game. And Patrick Mahomes and company, as a home underdog, rarely is that a good idea to go ahead and bet against Patrick Mahomes in that spot and Andy Reid.